So you want to become a DevOps engineer, but you have no idea where to start because there are just too many tools. So let me show you a roadmap that will help you clear the confusion and finally become a DevOps pro. Linux is the foundation for all DevOps engineers. You probably know it as the operating system that requires a big brain to use, but it's not that scary. Pretty much all the operating systems that run servers and applications run on a Linux core, which means they all share the exact same behavior. That's why you need to understand the basics. You should learn some basic terminal commands to navigate folders, change permissions, create files, and set environment variables. And you'll also need some basic networking skills like SSH, IP, DNS, and HTTP, because that will teach you how two computers actually communicate with each other. Now, you're probably familiar with those cases when an app works on your machine, but not on your friend's machine. All of this while using the exact same code. Some shitty black magic, you may think, but usually the problem is much simpler. Every machine has a different configuration. One may have Java installed while the other doesn't. One might have certain environment variables set while others don't. That's why we invented Docker. It allows you to run an app using the exact same context on every single machine. You just specify the operating system, the libraries, the environment variables, and then Docker creates a mini virtual machine or a so-called container that runs your app. It helps you ship your app effortlessly on any other computer, like your company server for example. While learning Docker, you should also read a bit about Kubernetes, which allows you to run and manage multiple Docker apps. For example, let's say you have 3 apps running inside Docker. What happens if one breaks down while the others 2 depend on it? I mean, I'm no expert, but that's no bueno. In that case, if you use Kubernetes, it will just restart it automatically without you even touching it. Kubernetes is smart enough to realize that something is sussy, so it acts like an angry manager that makes sure everybody works as expected. After all this, it's the perfect time to learn about Git and GitHub. Let's say you have a project and you want to make some changes, but you also want a backup in case your project goes boom. The solution? Just create another folder with a version of your project that works. That sounds reasonable, but if you want to compare the differences between those 2 versions, or maybe share your version with a colleague, this method quickly becomes a mess. That's why the genius Linus Torvalds invented Git. It allows you to track the changes you made, revert them, create different versions of your project, and then even publish it to GitHub so other developers can work on it too. But now, after every change, you have to guess. Does the project still work, or is the engine kaput? You could run it locally, run the tests and do all the work yourself, but that's boring. Instead, you could use Jenkins or GitHub Actions, which are CI/CD tools. CI/CD stands for Continuous Integration and Continuous Deployment. You can configure a job, and then, after every single change you commit, the job will compile the project, run the tests, and maybe even deploy it to the server. All the dirty stuff will be managed automatically without you even lifting a finger. That's why it's called continuous integration and deployment. I mean, that's cool and all, but how do you create these servers? Like, do you have to buy hardware, configure it manually and store it into your basement? Well, if you lived 15 years ago, probably yes. But how fortunate are we to live in a world where Amazon Web Services exists? This is a cloud platform that allows you to rent servers. You just pay the bill and you get a server with the guarantee that it won't die while you sleep. So take some time and learn the basics of AWS too. If you're a big fan of Microsoft, which is weird, you could learn Azure instead, or even Google Cloud. It's pretty much the same stuff and it's entirely up to you. And to save time while learning about the cloud, you should also read a bit about Terraform, which will make your life much easier. Instead of pressing 100 buttons just to create a simple cloud server in AWS for instance, you can create a configuration file and just run it every time you want to spin up a new server, database, or any other complicated infrastructure. Everything looks neat now, all the infrastructure is clean, but suddenly the app breaks down. Why? No idea. I mean, how would you know if you haven't learned and configured Prometheus and Grafana? Prometheus is a tool that collects all the data about your app, how much CPU it uses, how much RAM, and whether or not it has thrown any exceptions. Grafana then uses these statistics to create beautiful dashboards that make it easy to analyze the health of your application. So Prometheus does all the hard work, while Grafana just chills and draws some graphs. But honestly, catching bugs in production with Grafana when users are already leaving negative reviews on your app is the painful way of doing DevOps. You want to catch those bugs before your code even touches the cloud server. You can completely bypass this problem with MirrorD from Metal Bear, the sponsor of today's video. Instead of waiting for a full deployment cycle just to check a feature, MirrorD plugs your local process straight into your remote Kubernetes cluster. This allows you to run and debug your local code using real cloud traffic, environment variables and live database connections instantly right from your favorite IDE. Since no code is actually deployed to the cluster, your entire team can safely share the exact same staging environment concurrently. An unlimited number of team members can run independent MirrorD sessions simultaneously without breaking anything. So hit the link in the description below to try MirrorD for free and stop wasting hours every single day.